Y'all, we're going to fix us a really good dessert, quick and easy. Now, I had a few strawberries from the big, the box, a carton of strawberries I bought about a week ago. I had this many left, and I decided to cook them and do something really good with them. Now, that's just a little bit of strawberries, so I don't need too much sugar, maybe a couple of tablespoons. And I am going to put just about a half a cup of water in there. Turn it on, because I'm not going to need many strawberries for this. Put about 3 tablespoons of sugar in there. That should be plenty. And that's probably about a cup and a half of strawberries. Maybe a good cup, I'm not sure. I didn't really measure. But this is going to be our filling for our dessert. And I think y'all have seen me do something like this before, where I cooked strawberries and made, it was the cheesecake. I made a cheesecake, a strawberry cheesecake, and I cooked my strawberries, added sugar and a little bit of water until they kind of thickened up, and then I used them as the topping on my cheesecake, which was really good. Well, I'm doing the same thing today with my strawberries, only I'm going to use them in a little bit different way. I'm not making a cheesecake today. There's all kind of little tricks you can do that are simple, easy, quick, very inexpensive, and you can come out with a really good dessert. I kind of wish I'd have had these already cooked, but I wanted to show you how I did it, so, if I'd have cooked them first, then you couldn't see. But it's not going to take them but a couple of minutes, so getting them to that first boil is the trick. But it's a hot day outside. There's not much I can do out there right now. I got out there earlier today and I weed-eated one part of my yard out here under the trees, which is really hard to get in there with the lawnmower because it throws dirt and dust and leaves all over my sidewalk. So I usually just get out there with the weed eater and do it. So I did that I think it was about 7 o'clock when I got out there this morning while it was still cool. It started getting hot, so good thing I had finished. So now my whole yard is done for one more time. And who knows, if it doesn't rain, the grass may burn up and I won't have to mow it at all the rest of the summer. We may get a chance of rain tonight or tomorrow, but the chances are very slight, so I don't know if we will or not. This is why my 32-gallon compost tea containers, water catchment containers, are so important for me in the summer, is because Texas gets a drought in the summertime. It gets extremely hot, and with water rationing, it's hard to keep a garden watered. So I've got several 32-gallon containers around. I recycle my compost tea through my totes and my 5-gallon buckets, where they drain into other buckets that I can re-water with. So, but right now it's too hot to be doing too much of anything outside, so I decided I'd fix a good dessert. I'm just hankering for a good dessert, and I figured this would be one. You know, a watch pot never boils. And I've been putting up more shade cloth to my garden. I've got one more section that I want to do. I've got clamps coming this evening to do that with. C-clamps are wonderful when you don't want to drill holes in something. But my AC's running. I can't help it. You hear it. And I'm probably going to have the exhaust fan on when I get the oven going, because I'm going to have to heat the oven up to do this. So, but my strawberries are boiling, and we just need to boil them until they kind of condense down and the syrup gets kind of thick. Probably should let you see in here. I hate moving this because I bump it and cause all kind of problems when I move my camera around. But you can see a little bit in here. So I had about a cup and a half of chopped up strawberries to about 3 tablespoons of sugar. Could have cut my strawberries up a little smaller, I guess, but they'll cook down. To turn it down just a little bit. I don't want them to boil over. I want them to continually boil. I just don't want them boiling over. But that's a good way of showing you how it's going to look when you're boiling them. Just keep playing with your heat so you don't let them boil over. It's hard to get it just right. And I know this is a jar spatula that gets stuff out of jars, you know, when your jars are empty. But I found it to be a good stir stick for something like this, too. The other one is too big to get in, you know, mess too much with a little pot like this, so. But we're going to keep it boiling like this until some of the liquid cooks out and it condenses down and it becomes kind of syrupy. And you can do this with strawberries, peaches, plums. It don't matter. Any of the fruits you can do this with. I had a little bit of blueberries. I almost did it with blueberries instead of the strawberries today, but I needed to use up these strawberries. Now, if you have strawberry preserves, anything like that, you can use it. I just had these strawberries left over and I just wanted to use them up, do something with them, and this is what I'm deciding to do with them. Taste it for sugar. I may need to put just another spoonful of sugar in there. Or two. And that sugar will help it thicken up too. It'll kind of crystallize almost. So that was 5 tablespoons I ended up putting in there of sugar. But it's a good way to use up some just odds and ends of fruits that you have, that you may have, that you just don't want to lose. You know, you want to use them for something, unless you put them in a smoothie. And that AC will never cut off when I turn the oven on, I know. I'm going to get an egg. Put out here so I'll have it handy. I probably could have put a little bit less water in there because I keep forgetting that the strawberries have a lot of liquid in them. And when they start cooking, you know, down, they'll release that liquid into liquid. Or into the water and the sugar and everything else. You have double the water, basically. Now you could probably use pie filling for this, but I'm really not making enough of these to open a whole can of pie filling, and I don't want to waste the pie filling, so. Now I'm just going to continue cooking this until I cook it down and it gets real syrupy, and I'll bring you back. I think it's just about thick enough. Yeah, I think it is. So we're going to turn it off. And since I want it to cool down, I'm going to put it in this bowl. Well, let me move the camera back a little bit. So you can see, I'm just going to put it in that bowl to cool it down some. There you go. Because I've got to have it a little cool to be able to work with it. Now, you know me, I gotta have me a rag. So I'm gonna put this over here, right on my counter, where I'm gonna be using it. I've got a thing of crescent rolls, and I thought I had 2 of them, but I guess I've only got 1. So we're going to do 1, and I'll probably have way too much of the filling. But this will be an idea. It'll show you what I'm doing. And then you can make as many as you want. You can do 2 or 3 packages of these if you want. It's up to you. I do need to get a little bit of flour. Because I don't want them all to stick. So I'm going to put a little bit of flour on my... Now you can make your own. You don't necessarily have to use pre-made crescent rolls. You can make your own. Oops. And these were already divided up. I mean, they were... Where is the end? It would help if you could find the end of them. There we go. I'm just going to separate them. Oh, I've got to heat my oven. $375. So we'll heat that up while we're doing this. I'm just spreading them out just a tiny bit. Now, what I'm going to do is my strawberry mixture is kind of thick. You can see it. I'm not going to put much on there. I'm just going to go right down the center. Just right down the center of my crescent roll. That's what it is. So you don't need much of this because it'll just go out the sides. What, you know, it's going to do that anyway. But that's okay. They're still going to be good. Got that fresh strawberry flavor in there. Like I said, it's going to be a little messy. That's good. Now I'm going to take them and start rolling them up just like you would normally do a regular crescent roll. This is why you did not need a whole lot. Now what I'm doing is pinching the ends of them. make it almost like a little, I don't know, what do you call them, wonton thing? And that's just so when they cook, all of that filling will stay inside. It's not going to ooze out. I can put them on my baking sheet. And I do have parchment paper on my baking sheet. But be careful rolling them up, that you don't roll them up so tight that all your filling goes out the ends. I had a little bit much in there, but that's, like I said, that's okay. It's going to be good anyway. And just pinch those corners, well, not corners, the ends of them, where you keep all that goodness right inside there. I mean, hopefully when it starts cooking, it'll seal the ends of it a little bit more. You won't lose all your filling. But you can pull the edge right and kind of overlap it. I don't know if you can even see what I'm doing. I mean, some of that filling will come out. You can't help it. Just trying to see if I could show you a little bit better. I don't have the camera at a very good angle there that doesn't fall over. But you start at the regular end that you roll up your crescent roll, your croissant. Just do it real gentle. Don't put a lot of weight on it, because you don't want to force all your filling out the ends. You want a little bit of that dough to be at the end, to pinch it together to keep your ends, you know, all your filling in there. If that makes any sense. Take your little corner or your pointy parts and fold it over. Make your little boats right out of it. Just pinch the edges of it. There's a little opening at the top. This one's not cooperating quite as much as the other ones were. But it'll be all right. Got some of that dough all in my fingernails. Now what I'm going to do is separate me an egg. If I haven't forgot how to do this. Whoops. I want it over here. bit, but I didn't get that much in there, so it'll be good. I just mainly wanted the egg white. Break it up a little bit. And I'm going to take my pastry brush. Let's see if I can get this out of the way. I'll deal with that in a minute. And see, we still have some of that left. I could have fixed another whole can of these crescent rolls. Now all I'm going to do is baste these with this, the egg white, or try to. You can use the whole egg if you want. I mean, it's up to you. It'll just turn them yellow. But, you know, it doesn't matter. But these are great for to parties or any place that you're going to have finger food. You know, they make a great little, it's almost like eating a strawberry pie, but it's not. And one of the reasons I wanted to put that on there, I'm going to come over and I'm going to sprinkle with just a little bit of sugar. And the egg whites hold the sugar. Like I said, if you got a big family, you know, you can make 2 or 3 or as many cans of these rolls, crescent rolls, as you want. I had enough here that I could have done another can. I'm going to put them in the oven for 10 to 13 minutes at 375. But, you know, you can get creative with your stuff. You don't have to just cook everything the way the package label says cook it. I'm going to go ahead and be cleaning up my mess. And I need to set the timer for 10 minutes at least. But 8 of those is definitely enough for me. I don't need to be eating more than that. If I had people coming over or something, I'd fix more. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to dump the egg white, I think, in my compost bucket, because I'm not going to be using any more of that. That'll be great plant food. That raw egg in there. All of that goes into the compost, which will be good for the plants. I'm not sure. I can, you know, this would make a great topping on toast for breakfast in the mornings. So I think I'm going to put that in a little container. I've got little containers just for that kind of thing. Because that's like strawberry preserves right there. Look at that. It's real thick. That'll be great on toast in the morning. Make some Texas toast and put that on there. I mean, so if you like strawberry preserves, buy you a package of strawberries. Cook them down like I just did. Just add a little sugar. And you're going to have a great strawberry preserve to go on your toast. That is good. So these little containers come in real good. I still got bacon grease in a bowl up here. I was going to fry me some potatoes in, and I haven't done it. You know, this drainer that one of my subscribers sent to me comes in good, because it's got a drain spout under here. You can turn any way you want it, to where I could put it to the corner of my sink to have my counter free, and it still drains in the sink where it's supposed to. It's the first one I've ever had that does that, which is kind of neat, I think. And I didn't realize it turned at first. I had it out for a couple of weeks, and I had washed dishes and was cleaning up one day, and I decided, well, I'd just wash out the drainer tray, and I noticed it moved, and I said, well, oh, I didn't know it did that. But it does. It will turn for you. So you can position your tray anywhere around your sink that you can have the drain spout come into the sink, which is really neat, especially when I'm cramped for space the way I am. It gives me my counter free to do what I just did on. So, and I need to get the flour and stuff out of here. These mats are really great. I don't leave it on my counter all the time, but it comes in handy when you do need to use it. And it saves your countertop from having all of the flour stick to your countertop. And then it'll drain. It'll drain right in the sink. Well, they're cooking nicely. They got about another 4 or 5 minutes, and we should be able to take them out. And this is something else some of my subscribers sent me. It's hot pads. 2 different sizes. She made them. And I use them all the time, and you can just throw them in the washing machine and wash them. My mom used to make pot holders and stuff like that. But that's kind of neat. I can just put that pan out here on the counter now when I take it out of the oven, and it doesn't burn my countertop. I'm going to go ahead and put this little bit of strawberry preserve in my refrigerator. And like I said, I will have that tomorrow on some toast. I like to get things squared away and put up while I'm cooking. That way I don't have it all to do when I cook the item that I'm cooking, or when it gets done. They're gonna be good. But yeah, I always like to get creative with cooking. And I got my head cut off in the picture. Yeah, I like to get creative with my cooking. You know, I always like to take recipes and change them up, do different things with them, so makes them just a little bit different. I mean, this is going to give a lot of flavor to this crescent roll, and you're thinking you're going to be eating dessert, not just a crescent roll. And it didn't take much to do it. So, I'm hoping I give y'all some tips and little tricks on fixing food a little different than you normally do, just to make it interesting and different. I take cooking as a challenge. I always like to take that recipe and see how I can change it up, make it different. So this is how I did my crescent rolls. It's almost like a turnover, you know, like a fruit-filled turnover, but it's not a turnover. Yeah, put in the comments, how do you change up some recipes to make them your own? What things have you done similar to this to make a item totally different than what it was intended to be? I'd love to hear some of the comments about it. Timer's almost ready to go off, but I'm not sure the crescent rolls are done because it said 10 to 13 minutes, and they'll only be in there 10 minutes when the timer goes off. You know it's hot. My AC will not cut off. It's just constantly running. And having the oven going is not helping. But my AC makes so much noise, I hated to turn the exhaust fan on at the same time. That's just double trouble. Totally double trouble. Oh well, they're browning pretty nice. I need to just flip this pan around a little bit so they'll brown on the front. They're gonna be good. They are definitely gonna be good. Get this plate out without knocking everything off on the counter. I need to brown those just a little bit at this end. So that was 10 minutes. So yeah, with my oven you'd have to leave them in there the 13 minutes. Just like you normally would cook just the crescent roll. It's browning nicely. If I would keep the door shut. I think that's good. Should be. Don't those look good, y'all? Look good to me. I think this one needs a little bit more sugar on top. It'll melt. It'll melt down as they're cooling. But there you go. There is my version of, what can you call them? Strawberry crescent turnovers or pockets. Don't that look good? Look at that. Make sure they're browned on the, yeah, they're browned on the bottom. And see, by pinching the ends, when you roll them up and turning your opening part up, it keeps most of your filling inside the roll, your crescent roll. I mean, you could put peach, apricot, anything inside these. But you definitely want them to cool off before you bite into them. Look at that. Oh, don't that look good, y'all? Got to even turn the oven off. But there you go. And I didn't even have the camera on them. Look at that. Don't those look good? Can you see how they stayed, all of the strawberry preserve stayed inside? But you can see it like in a swirl, almost like a cinnamon roll, only it's strawberry with crescent rolls. But look at that. More of my craziness, y'all. I love to change recipes up to suit myself. I want to bite into one, but they're hot. Ooh, Hot, hot, hot. Maybe this one's cool enough. No, they're all hot. I can't even hold them in my hand. So I'm going to refrain from biting into it, I guess. Try this little one. Look at that. How's that for a nice little dessert? A strawberry crescent roll. Y'all, won't get nothing better than that. Y'all take a bite. Bite the end of it. There you go. Take a big bite. Dear Lord, bless this food I'm about to eat. Amen. Look at the filling in there. This is good, y'all. Woo. Hot. Hot but good. I can't touch the camera till I wipe my fingers off because I had sticky on them. Yeah, look at that. It's almost like a strawberry turnover. It's not so sweet that the sweetness gets to you, if you know what I mean. It's just enough to be good. Y'all, take another bite. Open wide. Those would be so good with cream cheese. Fix a good cream cheese filling to go in there. Oh my God. I wish I'd have thought of that. I would have put some cream cheese and then put the strawberry on it. But please, try the recipe. If you think you'd like it, I think you'd love it. Please like, share, and subscribe to my videos, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye now. Love y'all.